once again to the Talk All Things podcast. We're speaking all things Mamelodi Sundowns, all things Miguel Gadoso. Mamelodi Sundowns has obviously broken the internet yesterday when they announced the appointment of Miguel Gadoso. Who is Miguel Gadoso? A lot of people are not familiar with him. So I'm here just to tell you who's Miguel Gadoso and whether Mamelodi Sundowns has made an appropriate appointment. A lot of people, they're asking themselves a question. Is this a good appointment? Who is he? Where is he coming from? So Miguel Gadoso is a 52-year-old. He was born in 1972, the 28th of May in Portugal. Portugal is a country in Europe. We all are familiar in the football fraternity. Basically, he comes from a country where Cristiano Ronaldo is born. Miguel Gadoso has a UEFA Pro coaching license. So he's qualified, and his preferred formation is 4-4-3. His preferred formation is a 4-4-3. And then I'm going to give you now his previous stints. Recently, before he joined Mamelodi Sundowns, I think last year, he was a coach of Experienza in Tunisia. This is the same experience that knocked Mamelodi Sundowns out of the CAF Champions League semi-final, where they defeated Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0 in Tunisia, and they came in Pretoria and defeated Mamelodi Sundowns 1-0. If you can remember that game in the rainy Loftus Versfeld. And Miguel Gadoso was in charge of Experienza. He was the coach that knocked Mamelodi Sundowns out of the CAF Champions League. He also was a manager for Rio Ave. He was also a manager for FC Nantes. He was also a manager for Celta de Vigo for some time. And Michael Gadoso became, of course, he was involved. He was an assistant coach for clubs like your FC Porto. He was, assistant manager for a lot of teams in Europe. And of course, you would debate. They say the standard, even if he was an assistant coach, but the standard of those teams probably, they are slightly above the PSL. So in his history, Michael Gadoso, he has only won one trophy, which was with Tunisia Experienza in his whole entire career. He came to Africa and is currently a champion with Experienza. They won the league, and he took Experienza to the final of the CAF Champions League. So, is it an appropriate appointment? Did Mamelodi Sundowns make an appropriate appointment? Well, my thoughts is that it's a 50-50 take, seeing that some Mamelodi Sundowns, in fact, have failed since 2016 to win the CAF Champions League. And we know how Mamelodi Sundowns won CAF Champions League 2016 after, of course, Sundowns was knocked out of the group stages, but due to some little bit of a play of that African team, they had to be recalled. So after that, really, Sundowns never went to the final of the CAF Champions League. And even Peter Musumani stayed. He tried and tried, never won it until he went to Egypt and they win it 2 times with Al Ahly. The co-coaching format came. They tried, and I must say, Sundowns has been the best club in South African in African football for the last 4-5 seasons, but they failed. and taking into consideration the amount of money that Mamelodi Sundowns have pumped in their club, acquiring top players like your Marcelo Allende, your Ribeiro, bringing in players like your Tebogo Mokoena, breaking the bank to get these players from SuperSport United. So the return in terms of investment has not been equivalent to the result itself that Mamelodi Sundowns have acquired, particularly the CAF Champions League. We all know that Mamelodi Sundowns, it is one of their goals, season in and season out. But Mamelodi Sundowns had local coaches for the last 12 years. Peter Musimani, I think, took over Mamelodi Sundowns the year 2013. And Mamelodi Sundowns have not really had a foreign coach for that long. But the local coaches didn't manage to bring the trophy to Mamelodi Sundowns, the much anticipated and needed trophy in Klorkop. Despite Sundowns playing the best football. I remember one time, it was 2 seasons back, when Sundowns knocked out, it was CR Belouizdad. That coach said he favors Sundowns to go all the way and win the CAF Champions League, because he says currently Sundowns is the best team in Africa. And Sundowns went on to be knocked out in the semi-final of the CAF Champions League by Wydad in Pretoria, after they played to a 2-2 draw. And after that game, even the coach of Wydad said that as far as he's concerned, Mamelodi Sundowns is the best club in South Africa, in South African football and Africa at the moment, but is not sure when are they going to be able to win the CAF Champions League. That's why I'm saying that I think Mamelodi Sundowns for the past 6 years should have at least won the CAF Champions League at least 3 times. Seeing the amount of investment, seeing the amount of football that they play as well. So this change in coaching could come in handy for Mamelodi Sundowns, because Miguel Cardoso is a coach that has recently taken experience to the final of the CAF Champions League. And of course, getting your club to the final of the CAF Champions League is not pap and flays. We all know how Mamelodi Sundowns have been struggling. So he comes with that experience. And we know that North African teams like your Alali experience way that they are frequently in the semi-finals or final. And I believe that this guy comes with a wealth of experience of how to get into the final, because getting into the final of the CAF Champions League is not only about playing pretty and smart football, but you have to have that killer instinct. You have to be able to know how to manage the game, and that is an aspect that has been lacking in Klorkop. If you can check the 2-2 draw that they played with Wydad, Sundowns scored first, Peter Shalulile scored, Wydad came, it is Themba Zwane scored. I remember I was in that game. Themba Zwane scored, and then Wydad came. Peter Shalulile scored 2-0, 8 minutes left. Mamelodi Sundowns could not manage the lead, and Vala unfortunately scored a 2-2 draw. So I think this guy will come with this vast experience, because if you can check how Experience managed to go through to the final last year, they didn't play enterprising football. They didn't have that top quality, because I was listening to the presser himself. He said out of all the teams that he has coached, probably Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of quality, they are head and shoulders above the rest. Precisely, he said, of course, Mamelodi Sundowns have a slightly higher advantage in quality than Experience, but he was able to beat Mamelodi Sundowns with Experience, despite Sundowns having a better quality. So I think this guy, and probably being a foreign coach, probably it's a system, it's a change that was needed in Klorkop. Because after 12 years, Sundowns tried to retain South African black coaches, but even Rulan himself, he failed to win the CAF Champions League. I've got a lot of, I see a lot of people, Sundowns supporters, they constantly Rulani must come back, this and that, but Coach Rulani himself on 2 occasions. He never won CAF Champions League. In fact, last season against Yanga, Mamelodi Sundowns failed to score both home and away. And if it was not of the disallowed goal, the Aziski disallowed goal, VAR, is 50-50. At any given day, the referee would have said it's a goal and Sundowns would have been knocked out of the quarterfinal. And they went to the semi-final, they failed to score. Even against Wydad, the season before last, this, Coach Rulani himself, despite other fans, they say was playing enterprising football, but did he deliver the CAF Champions League? The answer is no. For 2 seasons, he failed. He didn't. He didn't manage to meet the mandate. Mangoba Mngiti as well. In fact, Mangoba Mngiti and Coach Rulani himself, they were co-coaches. They failed as well for 2 consecutive seasons. When in their first stint as co-coaches, Coach Peter Msimani knocked them out. And then the next season they were knocked out by Pedro in FNB Stadium. So the co-coaching arrangement failed to win the CAF Champions League. Coach Rani came on 2 occasions. An attempt also failed. Recently, Mangoba Mngiti, of course, he was going under serious scrutiny based on, and I believe that the scrutiny that he was probably facing, it is due to the fact that, once you become a head and you become demoted, automatically, even in terms of respect and so forth. So I think he lost a lot of respect. He lost a little bit of credibility. Hence, that's why when he was tasked to take the charges, even though he didn't perform badly, but the initial stint of him being demoted, and that because there was a time that he didn't really, after Pito left, he was supposed to take full charge of the team, but that time it is reported that he had a little bit of doubts, and the Sundowns management said, okay, let us go with the co-coaching arrangement. I think he killed himself there. So Miguel Cardoso, a Portuguese international, he comes with a vast experience of having coached in Europe, even though in Europe, of course, he was coaching mid-tables teams. He was coaching probably teams who were fighting relegation, but it comes with a wealth of experience, because those leagues could be a step higher than the PSL. His recent experience, I believe, that will come in handy. And you saw he came with 3 technical team himself. He came with, besides him, he comes with 3 guys that will come and assist him. So there's a shift, there's an overhaul at Mamelodi Sundowns. So I think Mamelodi Sundowns, ladies and gentlemen, are taking a path where they are entering into territories like your Al Ahly. They are entering into your territories like your experience, like your Tunisia, like your Wydad and these North African teams. If you don't deliver CAF Champions League, it seems as if you'll be shown the door. And people are arguing it to say, nah, that system might not work. But on the bright side, that system has worked for Al Ahly, ladies and gentlemen. Al Ahly, we know they changed coaches. Michael Kohler has stayed for 3 seasons, going to the 4th. It's because he's been winning, because they've won the CAF Champions League for the past 3 seasons. But Al Ahly, Zamalek, Wydad, check their stats. That's why even recently, Wydad, Rulani Mukwena is appointed. The very same guy took experience to the final of the CAF Champions League, but is no longer part of the team. So Mamelodi Sundowns, they are taking that probably emotions, running a club like you are running a family business. Yes, it was a good model, like Klopi Motsipe said, giving South African coaches, because Klopi Motsipe says they've got a responsibility as Mamelodi Sundowns to give back to the community and develop South African coaches. But this thing that they desperately need, which is CAF Champions League, it has not been coming. So even Miguel Cardoso, I can tell you now, if he doesn't deliver the CAF Champions League, this coming season, I think he will be shown the door, or despite being shown the door, I think he himself will resign. So Sundowns is getting into a place, into a territories like Al Ali. I think the maximum contract that Mamelodi Sundowns will give a coach right now, it's 2 years. It will be 2 years. This thing of having 4-year contracts, 5-year contracts, it's not going to happen anymore. And it has worked for these North Africans. Wydad Casablanca, Raja Casablanca. These people, every after 4 years, every after 3 years, they win the Champions League. Even Wydad is not long that they've won the CAF Champions League. Before Wydad, before Al Ali, it was Wydad. They won it, and they go to the finals. Raja Casablanca, it was last season and last season. I think they didn't appear in the CAF Champions League, but there was a season where they won the CAF Confederations Cup. So this model has worked for the North Africans, and it can work for Sundowns as well, because this thing of retaining coaches for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they don't really deliver, it has not yielded any fruits. So tell us what you think. Tell me what you think. Do you think Miguel Cardoso will take Sundowns to the CAF Champions League final? Will he deliver the second star for the South African outfit team, which is nicknamed the Brazilians? Kindly like, subscribe, and help us to grow our YouTube channel. See you in the next episode. Thank you.